What's up, guys? Welcome back to Vampyr. Was able to do a few things. I spent my experience on getting a boost in our stamina, so as you see, it's a little bit more there. Also, spent the money to get the Milton's shotgun, so we got that one. And now we're heading off to the main quest. Oh crap, so this shotgun... Oh my gosh, no. Okay. Okay, so I think you have to actually kill all of them before they... Okay. Yeah, I think you... Oh, no. I think you have to kill all of them before you can pick up the stuff, because I know for a fact I saw these guys drop a couple packages. Yep, see? Okay. Apparently some of these boxes have stuff in them, too. What's this? Abandoned...
It's locked.
There's somebody up here. Off me! Oh my gosh, seriously. Okay, which one was it? T? Oh, hell. Okay, there's a electrical box on the wall there. Not sure if that's anything or... Looked like it was flashing at first. Not anymore though, so...
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Alright, so... Saved him, at least. Okay. Oh, hell yes. That is exactly what we needed in our life. Okay. Anything else in here? The money over here. Probably just takes us outside. Whoa, what? Where the hell did you come from? No! Leave me alone! I'm stuck! Not the guy I wanted. There we go. Alright. Anybody have anything? Got a spring. Some aluminum. Right, let's head to the quest marker.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye. The guard grew more and more every year.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman.
Hey! Don't come no closer! Stay close, keep an eye on each other.
Let's turn around if I were you. Last warning! Elite! Elite!
Oh my god!
Okay, shotgun dude, you are... That's what we needed. Okay. No, get... Alright. Let's see here. I guess we gotta go through this gate over here.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind. Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fella. Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
So you are not a very kind individual.
What happened? Did you...
Hey, I didn't do...
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find...
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Okay, well that answered that question.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Okay.
Goodbye.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street.
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Okay.
What can you...
Nothing to...
You don't...
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother.
Oh,
She was
no.
sick, you see.
You mean you used to...
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
The hat...
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the...
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that...
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
Not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Okay. And now
Do
for...
you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
That's kind of
A
interesting.
gun,
And we can
alcohol,
mesmerize him.
and a bad...
Okay. Who else do we talk to?
Me? I'll not die in some piss.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reid, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Obviously we aren't buying that story.
Tell
Let's
me.
see here.
Who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid, or
Is there anyone...
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as...
Yeah, I did notice that. Okay, nothing there.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see...
Let's see here. It can be recycled. Okay, yeah, nothing there really.
When science fails you, listening to you.
Okay, so we got somebody over there as well. I wish I could go to the bookstore. Okay, so it looks like he's inside.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Okay, so we gotta find a... Ooh, he's got bronchitis. That sucks.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Okay, so we got some kind of illegal... some kind of illegal, what's it called?
They must know about
Clinic.
Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Okay, so once let's go straight up here. Who might you be?
Welcome, sir.
I am Dr. Reid.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis.
How is
Business?
I see. Sounds like you...
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing me.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day.
What you mean besides the epidemic? Yeah. A few nights ago,
Where did this happen?
in the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or...
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell.
Alright, so probably more scowls or whatever the hell they're called. Nothing there.
Have you?
No.
So she's...
Dorothy...
That doesn't explain.
Your precious nurse Crane gives away medical support.
Okay.
Right then.
Might as well buy these. Crap. Okay, we're out of money. Is there anything else? No.
Goodbye
Okay.
for now.
And you?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few...
Another journalist?
I'm not a journalist, I'm
A doctor, you say?
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reid, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson's son, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes...
According to you,
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you?
This part of town does have quite a reputation.
Totally. Look at me, for instance.
Okay.
How did you become...
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
a job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Alright, so we got a hint from him. Okay, nothing there.
Have you heard of...
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her.
Could you please tell me more about...
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Can't blame her on that one. Okay, so... the priest looks like he's about to...
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are...
Oh, jeez, okay. Talk about judgmental.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city.
Well, I suppose I can spare a...
As a doctor, you must be aware of the...
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
I feel like this guy
Tell
might
me,
actually
what exactly is your plan concerning...
burn the whole city down.
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Okay, so...
What do you...
All scientifically...
Quite... I am. Do you know...
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So she has communist ties.
I have heard.
Okay, so he might be slated for taking out of the gene pool. Of course, he's pretty old, so. Okay, that, you know, I realize that this is the turn of the century, basically. About 20 years from the 1800s, but seriously, a quill.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Let's see here. Start with this first.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influence?
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized.
That is actually something that really did happen. Basically what was...
I served in France.
Basically what was going on was they didn't want people to stop going to the front, so they didn't report anything about the epidemic at all. In fact, the reason it's called the Spanish flu is that the only article to actually talk about it talked about a Spanish town in that they thought like half the population or something died. So that's why we call it the Spanish flu, not because it's necessarily from Spain, but because that was one of the few articles to talk about the flu epidemic. So that's a pretty interesting detail that they added into the game.
Have you any idea of the...
I've had to run and hide more than once from...
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
What is a journalist doing in this
He goes where none of his colleagues...
So you risk your life to reveal the truth?
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Okay, so that's another hint.
That's quite honorable.
Not at all.
Alright.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers and...
Just out of curiosity, so... Yeah, see, all these guys are, like, way higher level than I am.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no...
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find...
Okay.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Alright, so the other guy that they talked about, Nethercott, he's supposed to be back behind here somewhere, so we'll go talk to him right quick, and hopefully we'll move this quest along a little bit. Okay, the mailbox. And who are you?
Good evening, miss.
Camilla. Oh, she's the mute that they were talking about.
Stranger who meets a Camellia, I know you were a stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse. I know you understand what I'm saying. Very well.
Oh, that was probably the most useless interrogation I've ever seen. Alright, so we're gonna avoid the going out there for now. We gotta find the mailbox. There it is, okay. My most beloved children, I am so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there is also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty, against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now, and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now. To feel useful one more time, I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I'm, as ever, your loving father, Darius Petroscu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Alright, first off though, let's go find... There he is right there. But the gate's locked. How did he get in there? Okay. Oh, hell. Okay. Oh, they got red eyes now. Why do they have red eyes? Okay, I'm gonna... Alright. So, was not expecting that. I was thinking that... Give me that stuff. Anything? No. Okay, this isn't creepy at all. He's... Hold on. Okay, hold on. What's this letter about? Okay. Thank you for sending your book of poems, songs from the defeated city, which was found as interesting and profound as we told you the first time we received it. Last, in the terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that such a title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication or none of your work, sorry to announce that Sycophant Publishing chose the second option.
An angel made flesh.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nithercott, at your service.
Okay.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of...
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time...
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, so...
What are you
Let's
terrible? What are you talking?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet, nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave.
Most people fail to understand my perspective.
Are you aware?
But this is what...
I understand.
I don't care.
If some misfortune came upon you...
Well, you, for a start.
Alright, so...
Tell me, Mr. Nithercott, why...
The place is not beautiful per se, but...
Do you not think it...
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life.
What can you tell me about...
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She...
Okay.
Perhaps you're just a...
One day...
And have you ever tried to learn more about her?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma.
In what way?
The struggle by gaslight.
If you say
such vibe.
Vivid, of course.
Yeah,
And what about
I'm not much
poignant
for
distress?
listening
yes,
to
the poignant
poets talk.
distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
When she was younger, my mother was a painter and a poet. She told me many times how poor her artist friends were, and how she helped them.
My parents pay for my rent, my food, and my clothes. All I have to give them in return is lies they do not believe.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
Okay.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nithercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reid.
Alright, so, now to the main part.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Alright, so he was a communist. Good to know.
leave you-
Alright, so that should give us enough,
Is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Alright, so that should give us enough to get him to open up. So, alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.